Welcome to this new video tutorial on ERD diagram. So if you are new to this concept, this tutorial will be good for you. Even if you already have some experience, then it may serve as a refresher, knowledge refresher for you. So before going too far, what is the ERD diagram? The ERD diagram is a diagram that visually represents the structure of a database showing entities, relationships, attributes, and cardinalities. So the use of it will be like it'll help in database design at first, because with that we can structure and normalize the database. So it also serves in documentations because it acts as a reference for understanding the database structure. So it's a perfect way of documenting your database for everyone to be able to read it correctly instead of just dumping SQL and leave it there. So, and another use of it is the communication. So, because it's facilitate discussions, alignment between developers, stakeholders, and database administrator. Suppose it's a meeting where you have people from non-IT backgrounds and IT guys. So the best way to communicate among everyone is to show the diagram. So with that, the communication will be easier. Then for this scenario here, for this tutorial here, I'm intending to use a simple design of an e-commerce database where we have entities. So the first vocabulary here are entities, and our entities will be customers who place orders. Order here is another entity, and each order will contain products. Products here is another entities. Then each products now have each has attributes like price and stocks. So that is it. And then the relationship will just be we are going to define this one because it allows us to put the link between different entities. You see how different entities are related, and each entity here will have its own attributes. So without a further ado, let's go to this tools here that I found online, and I found it online here. So here is the tool here. So it is lucid.app. But you may feel free, you can design it in a piece of paper on Microsoft Visio or whatever thing you have you think that is good for you. So here I'm going to use this tool. Then it's a free version that I'm using. So then if you go to the template, then go to the system, we can see that here there are different diagrams that we can design. And here will be the ER diagram for the database. So we select that one and we click on use template. Then here at first here we have some dummy stuff, so we can just remove them, delete. So we just delete everything. Now we can start. So the first thing that we have to do now is to start with entities. So we drag from here and bring that here. It's a bit smaller. What is the best way to handle this one? Okay, we just increase that and we increase it. Also minimize this one. So our first entity here will be the customer. So we write here customer, and then now customer will have the primary key. We'll have a primary key that we set here is the primary key, and then the next attributes here will be the name, and then the customer may also have an email. So it may also have an email. So that is it, and then we can copy this one. We can copy this, and so because the customer here will place an order, so we can change this one to order. Then the order here will have its own. I will add so I will add this one as order. You will have its own order, and then we also have what we call the order date. Then we have we are going to take here and add our foreign key. Customer will have here we call it foreign key. I assume you have these notions of keys, and then because then we have another attributes which is going to be the product. So here we call it product, and then you will have you are going to get to have the product ID as primary key, and then you are going to get the name, product name. We are also going to have the price. These are attributes, and then last one is the stock. Here is the stock. So that is it with our, now what we have done so far is we have defined our entities. Here are our entities that we just define. Then the next thing that we have to do, we have defined the entities customer and also define the attributes. Then the next thing that we have to do are the relationships and cardinalities. But before going there, and it's important to show you some here are the cardinalities that we can have. We can have one, we can have many, we can have one and only one, and we can have 0 or 1, and we can also have 1 or many, or 0 or many. So the best way to know like which one to use here is at each point here to define, to ask the questions, what is the minimum and what is the maximum. So these two questions here will allow us to define the cardinality at each point. So what is the minimum that this entity can have from the other side, and so on. What is the maximum that it can have from the other side. So with that, we come here. Then now let's define the relationships. In order to define the relationship between entities now, we select this line here called line options. We select that, and then we can click on, we select it. What is happening here? We can bring it here. So let's make this line bigger. We set it to 5. And then same thing here, we have to set the relationship between order and products here. And remember here, because we have the link between products, to have the link between product and order, here we need also to define the product ID as a foreign key. So we have the product ID as foreign key in the order table. Of course, when we normalize it later, we will move this one, some of these informations here to the order details. So, but for now, we keep it as it is. So again, select that, and then again we select it. What is happening? That. We select that. Now it is okay. So we set again the relationship. We set this one to 5. The relationship is set between order and the product. Now we try to define, we are defining now the cardinalities with, if you remember this diagram that I showed before, this one is the one here. So we have to define these cardinalities according to this one. So in order to do that one, as I mentioned here, we'll ask ourselves one important questions for each end. What is the minimum? We are going to ask ourselves what is the minimum, and then what is the maximum. So we are here, we start with this n here, and then we ask ourselves what is the maximum number that of order that a customer can have. So the answer here will be n. So a customer can have n number of orders. And what is the minimum number of order that the customer can have? So we may have a customer without order. So here will be 0. So we can see that here we have 0 and n. So we select the relationships, and we come here, pay attention here that we have the endpoints here for the right side and for the left side. So you want to set the right side, we select here, and then the one that fit is 0 and many, 0 and n, 0 and n here. So this one here is going to be the relationship on this side. Similarly here we are going to ask the same questions here, and again we set this one to avoid confusions. Then we ask ourselves now, what is for the order when we have an order, how many, what's the maximum number of customer that an order can have? So an order can only have a maximum of 1 customer. You cannot have more than one customer. I mean that something is wrong. So here the maximum will be one. And what's the minimum number of customer that an order can have? So an order can have minimum one customer, because for an order to exist we should have a customer. So here should be 1. So we have here 1 and 1. So we come here to this end, point here to the left side, and try to find which symbol is equivalent to what we have, to our answer here. It is 1 and 1. So here is the relationships here. Same thing is coming here. So we are going to make this one again. So we start with I will start with a product, and then we can see that an order can have when we are here, we ask ourselves, an order can have how many number of product, what's the maximum number of product that an order can have. So the answer here will be n. Then what is the minimum number of product that an order can have? So for an order to exist, then we should have at least one product. So then here will be 1. So it means that on this end here, the right side here is going to be 1 and many symbol. So this is 1 end here. Is that? No. Okay, it's going to be 1 and here. Then same thing here, we need to ask ourselves here. So a product here, we are now on order, and then we ask ourselves here that a product can be part of how many order. So a product can exist, the maximum number of products that can exist in an order. A product can be part of how many order? So of course the maximum number here will be n, and then the minimum number, when it comes to the minimum number, and then a product here may not have any order, so we may have a product in the store without any order placed on it. So here the answer will be 0. So then on this end, I will select again the symbol here and come to the left side, and then what we are going to set here is this one. So that is it. So here is that here, then here is our here is how our ERD diagram look like, and of course there are many representation of these things. In certain books you may find that they use arrow and then will try to write stuff like 1 and many beside that here, but it's up to you to use which one representation that you want. And then of course, once this one is done, your diagram is ready. And then I also find it useful here that we can export the result of our diagram here, and you can just export it here and then customize it. So, and I also think that here there is, if we choose this one here, these symbols here, we can directly here add our field name and the type. And then once we export this one, like here, we are going to have our type already set. Then our SQL will be ready to use. So we may also import. We can also take our SQL and import it, and automatically here we can get the ERD diagram generated. So this is some of the advantages that I found on this tool, but I will not. And of course, once that one is done, we can also come to file here and either make a copy or export it to different format. We can see different formats here, and let me show, like I take this one, like PNG with transparent background. So take this one, and we can copy this link and share it through emails. And for now, I will just make later. And then if we have here, we can also select the options file format here, then download it. You can see that here it is downloaded. So yeah, that is it here. So I hope you like it, and then stay tuned for the next tutorial. Bye.